mediums in the room. We have a really, really good chance of some good stuff happening tonight because this is a form of physical mediumship. That's why there's more rules than if you go to your just a straight-on mental mediumship, which I'll be doing the mental part. But we've got a number of physical mediumship that I'm aware of in the room, so it's just some really good energy to have spirit work with. I'm going to start in a minute, so keep your eye on that. When I start bringing through the evidence, if it kind of sounds like somebody you know, raise your hand, all right? And because it'll start, we'll get a few people, and then we'll whittle it down. Okay, cell phones off, no photography, I think this is it all. Okay. Oh, and very important, I may bring through a communicator that she is not drawing because several communicators may come in on a contact. So I might start with Grandma and she's drawing Uncle Joe, you know what I'm saying? So don't think because the drawing looks male, if I'm bringing a female, it doesn't, you know, belong. That's why, all right. So, speaking of gentlemen, I have a gentleman come right up here and stand next to me, and he's raring to go. And this guy, he was full of energy when he was here on the earth plane. He always wanted to be involved in something. He always wanted to keep busy. He did not like to stay on the couch. He had a lot of friends. He was a man about town, and he was reliable. People could call him and he would come and help them. He had an informal group of guys that he hung around, okay? Very, very respectful to his mother. In fact, he would hold his mother on a pedestal while he was here. Father and a grandfather, so he had children and he also had grandchildren, nieces and nephews. I'm getting a J name. And with that, Leo's also letting us know that there's some type of birthday or anniversary. That's the symbol in the upper right-hand corner of this photo. The birthday or anniversary could be for somebody in the audience or it could be related to the spirit communicator. I get the letter T, C, and Pop. So one of his names was Pop. Does this information resonate with any of you? I see one. Okay, well you guys are sisters, so that group. Anybody else? Okay, let me keep going. And I feel that this gentleman had several brothers and sisters himself. He was one of several children, and it was a large extended family. I feel that holiday dinners or family barbecues when they had their annual gathering, it was just chaos with kids running and everybody was so happy to see each other. Family was very important. It was one of those significant dates on the calendar when the family was going to gather together. This is outside of the typical wedding funeral. They would actually have like a reunion, a big family gathering, and preparations would go on for weeks. There'd also be a lot of drama with the ladies in the family, each of them trying to outdo the other with a certain recipe, who was going to bring the one most eaten by all the relatives. I'm still with you? Mm-hmm. Okay. And would this be your father? Mm-hmm. Yes? Okay, good. So I have your dad. You can't hear me. Okay, I'm sorry.
I can hear you.
Oh.
Thank you.
Okay, so we need you to speak up a little bit so the rest of the audience can hear you when I'm bringing through the information. So I have Dad here, and he's absolutely ecstatic to be here. He liked to be on the forefront of innovation, he's telling me. And I'm not sure if he did the college, etc. up, but he was a very, very intelligent man, and he did a lot of reading, and he kept himself apprised of new developments, he's explaining to me. He was somebody you could talk to, and he would give you very good advice, not only on life, but in all matters like family, business, you name it. He always had the right thing to say. Would you understand that about your dad?
Yes.
I think he worked very hard. Even at some point, he worked a full-time job plus a part-time job to support his family. All right, and I don't think your mom worked, though, for a good portion of the marriage. She stayed home, and that was what he wanted. He wanted her to be able to devote herself to the children, so he worked even harder, because it was most important for him that his family had the best. And in his estimation, the best meant the full time of their mother. So he's also letting us know he's keeping an eye on you. Full-time job, okay. And he needed your mother to keep a full-time, got it, thank you. But he's also keeping an eye on you. He's all over the country, as a matter of fact, because now your family is spread out. There's somebody living in another country, too. He's showing me, we're going across, out of the boundaries.
That's
Okay.
my husband's side for the family.
Husband's side. So your dad is on top of everybody. And he's got the dog with him. He wants to acknowledge the dog. All right? And actually, I think he collects all the family pets. Your father was particularly, not literally. Okay. Your father was particularly fond of animals. Dogs, maybe not so crazy about cats, he's telling me. Would that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, because I love cats. I just got a kitten. I'm getting it. But your dad liked dogs. Now, Leo is giving us the month of June. I think that's going to pertain to the second portrait that's coming through that would be connected to you or Dad. Would you understand significance as to the month of June?
It's my birthday.
That's your birthday. Good. And I feel that it's a female coming through. If not on the picture, I have Grandma coming in. Yes, I never know if it's male or female till it's done. But I have Grandma coming in right now. That I do know. And this would be your dad's mom. Would you understand Grandma's in spirit?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm never going to hear the end of it when I go to bed tonight, trust me. Okay. Ladies have different bits. Leo, you're not sure on the neck down. So, anyway, I have Grandma stepping in now, and I feel like your father's saying your grandmother was a busybody. Would that make any sense to you?
Yeah.
And but he says it on the slide. Okay, Leo corrected me. I should say your grandmother could be a busybody. I was only paraphrasing your dad, though. That was his opinion. And Grandma, however, was the first one to show up at your house if your family was sick and you needed help taking care of everyone. She was always on the go. Always going somewhere else to help people. Okay? And your father held her on a pedestal. He really, really did. They did have a nice rapport between them. They teased each other. All right? And it was all in good jest. Your grandmother had a belly laugh.
Still do.
They still do. Awesome. And that's what's kind of coming through tonight with these little busybody remarks. Nobody could really match up to his mother in all seriousness as far as your dad was concerned. Your grandmother was a little bit nervous about this side of life and doing the mediumship. Would you remember that about her? She did have the gift, but she was kind of worried if she did it that she'd get in trouble.
I don't know. I never talked about that with her.
You never talked about it. Okay, so what she's explaining to me is she had the gift. She had foreknowing. She knew when things were going to happen, especially if they weren't going to be good things. She got the dread. But she was a little afraid to talk about it because it wasn't considered proper behavior.
She
in
had
her.
the Irish blood, so we knew that she was always on top of everything, almost before it happened.
She had the foreknowing, especially if it was going to be something not so good. So, all right, and she's giving us the name Mary. Would you understand Mary?
Her name is Marie.
Her name is Mary. Perfect.
Marie.
Marie. Okay, close. Marie. Marie. It's a derivative, and that was very good, Spirit. She is very, very happy that you. I missed that one.
I am Italian.
I am Italian.
She's Italian?
No, he's Italian, so
Oh, Leo's Italian. Okay.
he hears the sound of the voice.
Your grandmother is very, very happy that the two of you are pursuing the studies that you're doing, because she's got a lot to tell you, and she's one of several sisters up there, and they like to talk. All right? She's been coming through to your dreams.
Yeah.
All right, so she's just giving validation.
Yes.
And she's telling you to keep up the good work. You've been a little shy about it. She's trying to give you a big push. Okay? Leo's giving us a symbol
Writing?
of writing. 10 out of 10.
Oh.
You understand the...
I do. She's going back to school. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Okay,
She's in
great.
school now, and it happened after they all passed.
Okay, so Grandma's keeping on top of what's going on in your current life. And you're going back for writing?
For education.
Education.
For teaching.
Okay. No, I'm not sure if we got... Okay, we did
Yeah,
get it.
10
Okay,
out of
that's
10.
what you're trying to say.
Well done.
Well done. Okay, I'm talking to your dead grandmother, trying to keep aware of the Italian guy up there named Leo. We're working on it. So, she's just kind of doing, do you remember if your grandmother did this?
She was very...
Yeah, because she's
Yes.
doing this and she's throwing holy water on you and prayers.
Prayers, yes.
Yep, she's doing all that for you. And I see your father kind of step in and kind of escort her back. Your grandfather says hello, and that's all he's going to say. He was a man of few words. Do you remember that about
Yes,
him?
yep.
Okay, he's still that way, especially if your grandmother's on the scene, because she uses all the words up. Dad steps back in, and he wants to talk about a brother. Do you have a brother?
No.
Okay, he's mentioning something about a brother, so maybe he's referencing his brother. Would that make any sense?
Absolutely.
And is his brother here?
Well, he's... Which ones?
Several.
Yeah.
He's got several. So let's narrow it down. Dad, two have joined him?
Yes. No, one. One.
One?
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so maybe he's telling me there's two of them up there. And there's one on the outs down here,
Okay.
who's been a little bit, hasn't been as engaged with the family.
Yes.
Okay? So he said, tell him I'm haunting him. All right? He wants to have him brought back into the family fold. And he wants, check up on him and make sure he knows that he's loved very much by the loved ones in spirit. And he's not alone. And they do hear him because sometimes he sends thoughts up. So if you would be so kind as to relay your father's message to his brother, he would be most obliged.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Okay. Would you understand your maternal grandmother also being in spirit? Because I have another grandmother stepping forward, and it's not your dad's mom. And this lady had a few extra pounds, and she just scolded me for mentioning that, because it's not proper to talk about a woman's weight or her age in public, dear. But she's smiling ear to ear. She wasn't really too self-conscious about it, but she was very much, you had your rules of behavior. Mm-hmm. So that's where that went to, into her character. Mom is here, yes, because she wants to acknowledge your mother. Oh, Mom's with her. Okay, my apologies. Because Grandma wants to acknowledge your mom. So Mom's probably is there as well. They can't all bloom and come through, is what I'm hearing. So, your grandmother would be the spokesperson of her family, if that makes any sense.
Yes, yes.
And she was kind of she could be a fierce woman.
Oh, yes.
So if the butcher shortchanged her, God help him.
Oh, yes.
All right, especially with matters of the household. So she comes through Leo saying, I am not coming back to life, but I want my specs back. So I guess there's some glasses that she lost, her specs. You want to know what she's
I
referring?
still have them.
You still have her specs. Awesome. Great evidence, Grandma.
She wants them
Thank
back.
you. So we'll have to figure out how to dematerialize them and send them up to the world of spirit. Okay. Your grandmother loved to brag about her family, and she also had a group of ladies that they kind of used to brag about their own kids to each other and try to one-up each other, if that makes any sense. They were very good friends. They weren't doing it maliciously, but it was just part of that, the tone of the relationship between these friends. So, boy, she said she's got a brag list this long when it comes to you guys and the rest of the family, and she's very, very happy for that. She's keeping everybody well in tow, and with that, she's going to step back real quick, and I have Mom coming in. And your mother was one that used to get embarrassed a lot by the behaviors of the people around her. And I can't just limit that to one person, because you have some very loud characters in your family, she's explaining. And your mother, though, she was more genteel, if that makes any sense, more, I want to use the word classy, and she's smiling ear to ear that I'm using that word for her. And I'm not speaking derogatory about the rest of your family, but they were more outlandish, demonstrative, crazy, and your mom was very demure, respectful. Yes, you understand what I'm talking about. And I need to say you're doing a good job with children, is what she wants you to know. And she's there a lot. Have you sensed the presence of spirit in the baby's room?
Yes.
Okay, that's your mom. Your mother just morphed into a werewolf with fangs to tell me that, God forbid, anybody tries to go after her grandbabies. God help them. Okay, she as gentle and classy as your mom was, she's one fierce protector when it came to her children or grandchildren. Okay? So she watches over all of the little ones in the family. You can use your camera to film in the baby's room and maybe see some orbs. Has that happened yet?
Oh yeah, in pictures.
Good.
I've gotten
Okay, because
several,
Grandma's, your mom is saying, I'm in those orbs. Okay. The giggling episodes at 2:30 in the morning. 2:30 in the morning. I don't know if it happens like almost like clockwork.
Yeah, I
That's
have two boys who have the same room, and they're in bunk beds.
And it's
And
like,
oftentimes I'll wake up, it's between 2:30 and 3:30, and yeah.
that's
and
Mom
they're
waking them up.
laughing.
Actually, no, it's not. That's your father.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's your dad.
That sounds like Pop.
Yeah, that's your father, and but Mom's well aware of it, so that's why she gave me the time, like 2:30.
Yeah.
Clock must be wrong. I come at
Yeah.
2:50 a.m. Yeah,
Oh, funny. Yeah.
2:50. All right, so
2:50.
check your time the next time it happens, because it's not an isolated incident. Your mother is enjoying her time in the world of spirit by having a nice big home that she loves to decorate and tend to, and she invites many people over. She has the ability to make the room as large as she wants. In that moment, she never has to turn anyone away. So she invites many, not only friends and family, but their friends And so I think Mom was a big, she used to have a lot of people over. She was a great hostess. Yeah, so she's actually being able to expand that role up in the world of spirit. And the children and the children and the children, your mom is working up in the world of spirit. She wants you to know she's working with the spirit children. She's particularly fond, she loves children, and I think she does this with her mother. The two of them, they're like the nursemaids for the little spirit children up there. You know, it's a community effort up in the world of spirit, she's explaining, and she loves to nurture. So she gives us letters V, J, and P. Do you understand? And also the letter S. Oh no, I'm sorry, it's J and P, that's a check mark, forgive me.
Oh,
The letter J.
P are our parents' initials.
J and P are your parents' initials,
mother's
perfect.
James and mother's Pat.
James and Pat, awesome, awesome. And how about the letter S?
Other than sisters?
Or our grandmother's last name, maiden name. Stanislavska.
Maybe. Well, hold on to it, sometimes things come in. Now, can you identify the portraits?
The one on the right?
Definitely
is
the one on the right. Is either our grandfather or our uncle who
They all, at some point,
Yeah.
all brothers
Who our dad
tend
talked
to
about.
look like that.
yeah.
Okay, so this is Dad's brother?
I think that
Either
might be my
grandpa
grandfather.
or dad's
Winter.
brother.
Oh, okay, here we go. So, something else Leo will do, look at each side with the other side covered, and then he's going to cover the other side of the face. You may actually see two people in the same face. Okay, everybody see that?
Oh yeah. Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because Dad referenced a brother before
Yes.
in the contact. Would that have been his?
Both of them.
Yes.
Yes, that would be the uncle. Okay. And your grandfather did come through.
Yes.
Awesome.
He's the quiet.
And now on is that Mom and Grandma when you look at them with the half the
It
face covered?
definitely looks like mom on one side for sure.
And could it be Grandma on the other side?
I'm not sure.
Not sure? Okay, that's okay. That's okay. But we identified her as Mom, and then you saw Dad and Grandpa and Uncle. Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. So, and we certainly had quite a few speakers coming through. Okay. Just, the family wants you to know that they are all together up in the world of spirit, and they are watching over, they are staying on top of what's going on in life. You can speak to them, they do hear you. They are working with your spirit team to help their communication come through clearer for you. All right?
The boy on the left actually looks very much like a spirit guide that I've been able to channel. His name is Matthew.
Okay, so that's not looking like your mom?
When you cover half of it.
half of it looks like my mom, but then the other half does look like Matthew.
Oh, okay. Okay. So half looks like Mom and half looks like a spirit that you've been in communication that you've clairvoyantly seen. All right, awesome. Awesome. Getting a Joseph. Leo wants me to mention Joseph.
I thought it was Matthew, but it could be, I've felt Matthew, but it could be Joseph. I don't
Okay.
know.
All right, now Leo, you just made a half male, half female in one face, so don't yell at me for not knowing what you're drawing until you're done, okay? You notice you did that now after I made that little disclaimer in the beginning? He's so funny. Ha ha. I need glasses. Oh no, winter. I thought I was gonna say specs. Sorry, winter special present. Thank you, Leo. I'm very grateful. That was good because that's what I'm afraid to say male or female because in case it changes. And now you know why. Good, aren't.
Aye.
Yes, you're excellent, Leo. Excellent, absolutely.